Yeah, so one thing that I have to do today is one of my clients just had a surgery, and so I want to try to send him out a, fruit basket or something like that. I don't really know what he's allergic to. That's what kind of concerns me. I don't know if he has any allergies, but I'm going to try to see if I can send out a fruit basket or something to his house in the next day or so. Um, just to kind of cheer him up. I mean, it's good. It's good to get stuff like that when you're going through like major surgeries or anything like that. You want to just do stuff to cheer people up. I think it's a good idea. So I gotta decide where I'm gonna get the basket from, and and just go from there. I mean, it shouldn't require that much thought, but this is one reason why I gotta hire a receptionist to do this type of stuff for me, so I can just, hey, send them a fruit basket. Are you someone who brings your lunch to the office? Me personally, I usually bring my lunch. I mean, I'm just kind of that type of person. I obviously am from a blue collar background, so I'm someone who just is accustomed to brown bagging it. Now that new bubblegum machine is coming in, I'm gonna go outside and spray paint that real quick. So I can't wait to bring the girls back over and let them check it out and tell me what they think. Here is the actual stand. I don't know, is it focusing or not? Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, so that's the stand. And I have not. The next step is I need to find a legal intern. So I'm going to start working on that on Monday afternoon, as far as putting together the description of exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm also going to put together a description of the type of paralegal that I'm looking for as well, or receptionist. So that's it for that particular portion of what's going on in here. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Put you some of that on a roast beef pinwheel, and you're in heaven, my friend. All right, here we are again. It's the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander, here on another beautiful Friday with you as we start episode 26, which you'll be viewing tomorrow on Saturday. But hey, we're going to take a different little switch from the norm. Usually we talk about interstate trucking, trucking from state to state, federal motor carrier safety regulations. And so today we're going to start talking about my state. We're going to start talking about Texas, okay? And here in Texas we do things a little differently, but for the most part, like many other states, Texas has adopted the federal motor carrier safety regulations, or the federal laws for the most part are state laws for intrastate trucking. That means within this actual state commerce. So let's get started. This is going to be very brief. It's not that much to put up here, and like I said, I apologize for how it looks because because I need to go buy some more markers tomorrow, and it's kind of fading out. So I just try to do the best I can with what I have. For the most part, Texas has adopted federal motor carrier safety regulations, right? And so the federal motor carrier safety regulation that generally covers the hours of service rule, which is what we're covering today, is statute 395, or section 395, I'm sorry. And so Texas has adopted that. And so basically any vehicle or combination of vehicles with an actual gross weight or a gross weight rating that is in excess of 26,000 is going to be considered a commercial motor vehicle, right? Okay. But there are a few exceptions, okay? And those exceptions are the exceptions that we're going to cover today for the most part. Okay, one of the exceptions is public utility vehicles, okay? So if a public utility vehicle is operating intra or interstate, meaning that it's driving from state to state or within the state, it's going to be an exception from this commercial motor vehicle rule that we have for the state of Texas, right? And that public utility vehicle is going to be defined under the Public Utility Regulatory Act, the Gas Utility Regulatory Act, the Texas Water Code, and 395.2 of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations, right? The most important, well, I'm not going to say the most important, but one of the key terms under all this is that this public utility vehicle is going to be responsible for maintaining essential services to the public to protect health and safety. So this is an exception. Public utility vehicles are an exception to regulations of the hours of service for commercial motor vehicles, meaning they don't have to abide by the rules that the rest of us do, or the rest of truck drivers do. The other exception, and I'm going to go into greater detail with this on another vlog, but I thought it was very important to bring up, is the air mile radius rule. Okay, the air mile radius rule is basically it does not apply to drivers transporting agricultural commodities or distribution point for the farm supplies within a 150-mile radius from the source of the commodities or distribution point for the farm supplies when such transportation occurs during the planting and harvesting season. That's a lot, okay? Pretty much to boil that down, what this is telling us is that if there are trucks that are being used for agricultural purposes and they're within a 150-mile radius of either the source of the commodities, meaning, apple trees, we're going to use apple trees. If a truck is transporting apples from the source of that orchard, or if they're either acquiring farm supplies from within 150 miles of this area, then during the planting and harvesting season, this is not going to apply. The hours of service are not going to apply to this type of agricultural commodity truck or commercial vehicle truck. Okay, and just for clarification, it says occurs during planting and harvesting season. Harvesting and planting season is basically year-round. It's January 1st to December 31st. So we have public utility vehicles that are exceptions, and we have trucks that are being basically used for agricultural commodities. Okay, 150-mile radius rule, and I'm going to go into further detail with that as far as the exceptions to that probably sometime next week. The only other thing that I wanted to briefly talk about was the hours of service, the actual hours of service for truck drivers in Texas, interstate commerce. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about is this. I want to talk about the hours of service, okay? You remember that we said, hey, a truck driver that is transporting goods interstate commerce, state to state, can only drive for 11 hours. In Texas, it's 12 hours inside of the state. You remember that the on-duty time for a interstate commerce commercial motor vehicle driver is 14 hours. In Texas, it's 15 hours. The off-duty time is 8 hours consecutively in the state of Texas, and the weekly limits are 70 hours over 7 days, and it requires a 34-hour restart. Okay, so that wraps up today as far as the Texas hours of service regulations, and I hope to see you again. Hope you tune in. If you can, subscribe by pressing that red YouTube button, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another vlog.